Hope you're having a good day. So I spent the morning doing some cleaning and rearranging, as you can see, and also checking up on Foodie Beauty. She did a live stream at 6:30 this morning. I don't know why she keeps going live at 6:30, maybe because the time difference where she's at, but yeah, 6:30 in the morning, yet again. She seems to like 6:30, although I don't know why, but the stream itself looked kind of boring. So I'm going to go back to a stream that she did a day ago. And this stream is the aftermath of being stupid. When she did the rage streams, which she quickly deleted. And then directly after those two deleted rage streams, she did another one where she was experiencing some remorse for what she said. Like maybe it was starting to sink in, uh-oh, I think I've said too much. I think I went off the handle and maybe I shouldn't have done that. So yeah, we're going to get into that. Also, a few foodie updates. So in the morning live stream that she did, Foodie has already prepared her next grift. So she's still talking about going to Canada, although I don't know if it's going to happen. She very well may not go. She might just be telling Salah, yes, I'm going to Canada. I've got a plane ticket. And then when the time comes for her to leave, she might just look at him and say, I don't have a plane ticket and I don't have money. And then there's going to be a huge fight. But this new grift that she's talking about is getting a foodie scooty, getting a mobility scooter. Now, anybody who's been watching Chantal for a while, we remember her going to, was it Walmart? She went to a store and she got on the mobility scooter there, and she was practically burning out the motor because she was entirely too heavy. And that was when she was about 150, 200 pounds lighter. So the mobility scooter that she wants, I don't know, honestly, if it would support all of her weight. She would need to get something that could support all of her weight. She's almost 600 pounds. You know, like, and Foodie, if you want to prove me wrong, get on a scale and I'll apologize, but I stand on that hill and I will die on it. You are over 500 pounds. You keep telling your beezers you're 350 pounds. Ma'am, in your dreams, you're not 350 pounds. You weren't even 350 pounds back when you were with BB. You did an honest weigh-in at that time. You were 377 pounds. So you've gained at least 150, 200 pounds since then, ma'am. And that's part of your problem now. But anyway, you were in Kuwait, you were on that ATV, and that ATV was having problems with you. So if an ATV with a stronger motor can't handle your weight, what can a mobility scooter do for you? Anyway, so yeah, she's talking about the Foodie Scooty grift, talking about she needs $1,000 to $2,000 for the scooter. Again, Beezers, why isn't she talking about buying the scooter herself? Another thought that came to mind. So if she gets the mobility scooter, where exactly is she going to be that she's going to be close enough in town where she can use something like that? She would have to be close to town, close to stores and whatnot in order to use something like that, because she doesn't have a van where she can put the scooter in it and take it with her and then use the scooter. No, like where exactly is she going to be that she's actually going to use it? More than likely, Chantal will not get that scooter. She'll rent a car because she feels more secure in the car, and then she'll just pocket the money for the scooter. So we have got some stuff to go over on Twitter. There's not a whole lot of stuff, but there's cool stuff. There's Chantal stuff. So you guys know what time it is. It's time for the Twitter peeps. All right, it's time for the Twitter peeps. So let's just get going with that. Okay, and so for those of you that are on Twitter, you want to follow me on Twitter. There's my handle, Wild Girl Sarah. And for those of you not on Twitter, I do the peeps for you so you guys can keep up with all the stuff. Setting foot on the Bird app. So let's start here with a post courtesy of T. T says, Foodie Beauty is such a desperate, psychotic loser. She is commenting on SJam's live about Nashies. Get help. Yes, Chantal's been going wild ever since she found out that Nashies are back in Canada. She desperately wants a Nashi. Those of us that have been around for a while, we remember the Nashies very well. She would go wild for the Nashville chicken sandwich. She would buy 4 or 5 of them at a time every single day. Chantal's like that. She fixates on a particular food and she'll eat it for weeks and nothing but that. And we saw nothing but Nashville chicken sandwiches for the longest. So here's Chantal. This is SJM's live. And Foodie is going wild saying, you got a Nashi? And this person says, you are a desperate loser. You are a psychotic narc and animal blanker. Have you finished eating Sauce's money? Salah's family are right. You're an old useless hag. Sit and spin. So imagine getting this excited over a freaking fast food sandwich. I don't understand it. I really don't. Paranoid Android says, I asked my dad, who is military intelligence veteran, if Foodie Beauty may face any difficulties getting back into Canada with all the moving around and Middle East she's been doing. And in his opinion, there is every chance she could. At the very least, she's going to be interviewed and interrogated. Yeah, if she comes back to Canada, she might face some questioning just because she's been to Syria. So we'll see what happens. And this is my post this morning saying Foodie Beauty scooter bees equals incoming new grift for her beezers to milk them out of $1,000 to $2,000. Wonder if that's the cost of Nad's bail money. Yeah, about that. So Natter has a live scheduled for tonight. But there's also something interesting to add to that. For those who did not know, because I just found this out this morning. I wasn't snooping around. It just popped up on my YouTube feed. 2 days ago, Dee Lulu, she did a video talking about a big haul that she did. And it just happens to line up with Chantal's payday. Yeah. So Nad's getting out of jail, maybe on bail money. And Dee had a huge haul 2 days ago on the same day that she got paid. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. All right. So Milker says, so I guess Canada doesn't have public transportation. So here is the Foodie Scooty that she wants to get. And I looked it up. Like this model cost about $1,000. Actually, it's less than $1,000. It costs about $700 to $800. But again, I don't think it's going to be strong enough to support her weight. And I don't think the motor is going to be strong enough to, to haul all that pressure. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But the seat does not look big enough for her. When she was back in Canada, she needed an XL size gaming chair. That chair looks kind of small to me. And the motor is going to burn out in no time. So she could just be doing this for attention. It could be like a grift and a troll all at the same time. I also posted Foodie Beauty, quote, I can get a scooty that goes up to 350 pounds, end quote. Yeah, girl, but you're almost at 600, so forget it. If an ATV can't help you, a scooty sure can't. The motor would burn up in 45 minutes, but send the 1K for the scooty anyway, Beezers. Right, go ahead and waste your money, Beezers. Send that money. She might get the scooty and it might last for like 30 minutes and then the motor's going to burn out and that's going to be the end of that. And then your money's going to be wasted. Mrs. Robinson says, Reed, give me money because reasons, tee-hee. If this unhinged beach goes to Canada and doesn't take the hijab off and go back to Tinder, then it means she's got to keep the cosplay for the fake husband. And most likely she'll be back to Syria again. Well, we'll see about that too. If she does that to people, that will tank her channel. All right, this is something cool from Nature is Phenomenal, a night walk. All right, guys, listen. If you're ever somewhere and you see a cat and 2 owls walking by like this, mind your business. Just don't ask questions. Don't be concerned. Just let them walk on by. Let them do their thing, but mind your business. There's something important going on and it doesn't concern us. It looks like something very official is about to happen. All right, now, those of you in my audience that you listen to classic rock, you might remember this song. It's an older song, but it's a great song. I was actually reacting to Sunburst Tarot's live tarot reading on Foodie last night. And during the reading, a song popped in my head. An old song, a good song. The song by the Doobie Brothers, What a Fool Believes. And I've heard that song before, but I wasn't entirely sure about the lyrics. But I'm like, why is this song all of a sudden popping in my head? Then I looked at the lyrics. The song fits Foodie so hard. So hard. In order to explain it to you, let me just pull this up. What a fool. Like, what are the lyrics about? What a fool believes. All right. So what's the AI answer? To understand the meaning of what a fool believes, consider these key points. The song explores themes of unrequited love and self-deception. It highlights how the protagonist misinterprets signals from someone they admire. The lyrics reflect a longing for connection that is ultimately one-sided. It emphasizes the contrast between reality and the illusions we create. The song suggests that hope can blind us to the truth of a situation. Overall, it captures the bittersweet nature of misplaced feelings and dreams. Boom. That is a situation between her and Salah. She wants Salah. Salah does not want her, has never wanted her. And Foodie is desperate to believe somewhere, somehow in Salah that there's some love in there somewhere for her, and it does not exist. So great song by the Doobie Brothers, and it fits her perfectly. The situation between her and Salah perfectly. All right, moving on. All right, now I saved this for a reason, because Chantal has talked often about, I want to go to Mount Everest base camp. And even experienced in shape climbers, Mount Everest is dangerous, very dangerous. Like, there's so much, like the cold, the altitude sickness, the lack of oxygen, the possibility of frostbite or injury. Foodie, I'm not making fun of this young lady. I'm actually concerned for her. I hope that she's all right. I hope that she got proper medical care. I think she needs some care for her face for the frostbite. I don't know if it's frostbite or windburn or something, but you're talking about going to base camp, Foodie. This person actually went. She went into what's called the DEATH zone. I don't know exactly what that is. Is that like the higher altitudes? But Foodie, you're talking about going to base camp and you think that's actually a possibility? I don't think so, because again, I'm not making fun of this young lady. I hope that she's all right. I hope that she's fine now. I think that she is, but yeah, she's out of breath. Yeah, she can barely talk. Like, maybe it's from lack of oxygen or just the cold, but as you can see, she's not well. So I wish this woman well, and I hope that she's all right. But if this person is in shape, possibly an experienced climber, and she went to the extreme zone of Mount Everest, Foodie, you don't stand a chance. And look here, this tweet by Munted Monkey saying her desperation is palatable. I tried to Google availability. The IG post was the third hit, and look who we found. So there's Foodie on IG basically bugging about the sandwich. Look, look, Burger King on Instagram, and look who's in the comments saying, can you please tell me if this will still be available end of October? It's my favorite, and I've been waiting 3 years for it to come back. What I say? She gets back to Canada, She's going to eat through whatever money she's got in her pocket. Does anybody doubt me now? Please don't, because I wouldn't lie to you. She will, but I won't. All right, so that's it for the Twitter peeps. That didn't take long, and that's fine. I mean, I've got stuff to do today. So how about we just go on to the live, and remember this, we're going backwards a bit. This is the live stream that she did directly after the 2 deleted live streams. This is when she was backpedaling and pulling everything back and like calming down a bit. So let me just make sure I am where I need to be. Yes, I am. Show the chat. Fantastic. We're starting a few minutes in. It doesn't make sense to start at the very, very beginning. All she does is say hello to people, blah, blah, blah. So I ain't got time for all that. Let's get going.
See, Leon. Welcome to Very Important Beezers, Ready Set Bees. Hey, Rosie. I remember you. Honestly, Nina, I don't know Rosie anymore. I know I say. I don't know, Nina. I honestly don't think that was his intention to hurt me. I just think he doesn't realize sometimes what he says. But yeah, I would have kept it to myself, yeah. I mean, I'm really since coming here worse mentally than I've ever been. And yeah, I did. Obviously, we texted back and forth when I got off the live. Hey, Lan.
You know, it's really weird. She's trying desperately to paint this picture that Salah is abusive, when in all the 3 years that we've seen them on camera, he's never been abusive. He may have made some snarky comments, but she made even snarkier comments. I've never seen him get physical with her or look like he was going to do something dangerous. But her trying to paint this picture that he's abusive, and at the same time, he sent people over to the house and ringing the doorbell to make sure that she was all right. So does that sound like the actions of an abusive person? No.
We came to some like agreements, and like basically he promised me that no harm will come to me.
Chantal, he doesn't want to hurt you physically. He just wants you to go. You may look at that as hurtful because that's not what you want to do. You don't want to leave. You are stalling. You got the money to go right now. You've got what, 5 or 6K in your pocket, and you could make that work. And I'm sure that if you got back to Canada, your beezers would give you more money. You're still trying to grift them while you're in Syria. They've already given you a lot of money, but they will give you more if they actually saw you back there. They are done with this whole situation of you being in Syria. They are tired of Salah. They don't want to see nor hear from him anymore. They want to see actual change. And I don't blame them. They've given you a lot of money. And they're at the point now where it's like, we're not going to give you a dime more until we see that you're back there. And there's a possibility that you will spend the money on the things that you promise that you'll spend it on. We know that while you're in Syria, you can't even spend the money on a new place or a foodie scooty. So what is the point in giving you money right now if you're going to be there for an additional 3 weeks? So you want more money, get your butt on that plane and go home.
And it did freak me out because like I'm in a country where like I don't have any rights.
Nope.
You know, so it freaked me out.
But you know what? People told you that before you went there. A lot of people gave you various warnings about various things, about the conflict, about the things going on over there and so forth and so on. And you didn't want to listen, per usual.
I just became very insecure, and like that made me very angry. And we both said very, very hurtful things to each other. And
Yeah. What? Speaking of hurtful things, why don't you show the rest of the text messages, Foodie? Because I bet $1 million that the beginning text, who started it first, would be you. What did you say to kick things off to get him that angry? Normally, he's a calm person. What did you say? What part did you play in it?
teardrop, yeah.
He was on vacation with his family, so his attention was going to be on the family. He wasn't going to be sitting there with his family and texting you, but you were alone at home, freaking out and texting him, I'm sure.
Hey, you're here. Thanks, Nina. I think his mental health is getting worse too. And
Yeah, I'm sure it is because of you. I'm sure you're becoming more and more of a problem and a burden and stressful, and he is at his limit. And I don't blame him.
it just spiraled, and I've like I didn't want to take this to the internet. Like I really didn't.
No, yes, you did. You wanted the attention. You want to be able to vent. You were angry at him. And you know what? You got attention. You didn't get a whole lot of super chats, but you got attention. And the stupid thing is you went off and then you deleted the live streams off your channel. Like they're going to be erased from the internet when you do that. That's all you did was just give free real estate to the reactors. We monetized our reaction streams. You lost out on money, a lot of it. But go ahead, do what you want.
But like I don't know what's like wrong with me. Like it's like I just felt like I had like nowhere to turn to, and like
You know what, though, Chantal? This is YouTube. Okay? What makes you a lolcow is that lolcows overshare. That is why you've been a lolcow for years. Lolcows overshare when they don't have to. They just do it. They share everything, their health issues, their personal problems. If they have a fight or disagreement with the person that they're living with, they overshare. When easily you could keep all that stuff to yourself. And if you were really married, you would want to, out of respect for your husband, but you have no respect for anybody, not even the person you call your handsomest man. That's how I know the relationship is fake. Because if he loved you and you loved him, this personal stuff would not be on YouTube. But you came here, you put it here, you put it in front of people, you wanted people to be concerned. You decided to do a stream saying, I'm in danger, when there was nobody even there with you. The whole family was on vacation. So what danger were you in? You've done live streams with pew pews outside going off, and you were giggling about it. So you could do streams like that, hearing those sounds, no problem, no fear. But all of a sudden you're there at the house alone and suddenly you're scared. Make it make sense.
I did. I felt panicked, and like I just my own brain scares me sometimes. And I'm not like backtracking or anything, because we are definitely 100% donezo. Like we are not going to stay together.
I'm going to say something, and I'm not saying it with an ounce of sarcasm or hate. Chantal, I think you need to be institutionalized, truly, because you are a danger to yourself and you're a danger to others. I mean it. You need to be institutionalized for your own good and for the good of others, because you're too unstable.
Yeah, maybe since I switched my antidepressants to the cheaper ones, I don't know what it is. It's a mixture of things.
Chantal, I imagine that switching medications that help with depression or issues of that nature, yeah, it does cause fluctuations in the body, with the mind, with your thoughts, with your feelings, how you're able to rest. It makes you feel sick. I have no doubt about that. But you can't blame everything on the pills or lack of pills, because you've always been this way. You were this way back in Canada with Natter, like the same behavior with Natter. So it was happening then. So it's not the pill's fault, is it?
You know? Yeah, Nina. It's my diary, but it is public, and I it's not really fair to really put our personal stuff on
No.
blast, like public fighting, you know?
Yeah, you're right. It isn't fair because you are giving your side of things, and Salah can't give his side of things. This is not a two-sided fight. It is you just coming up with whatever narrative you want, and you put your narrative out there, and then he's not doing it. Well, maybe he will later. Maybe he'll do a tell-all. We'll see.
Oh. Yeah, we did teardrop, yeah. We did talk, we, texted back and forth, but he's super stressed because he has to drive like a super long way to get here, and there's like really bad wildfires that broke out. Thanks, Andy. Yeah, Monica, I know. And but I just I always promised him that I would never expose anything personal, but I just got really, I did actually get frightened the way he was talking, but he's
Well, what about the way you were talking? Beezers, why aren't you calling her on the carpet for her behavior? She was unhinged. She was saying things about his family. She was calling him an SOB. She was threatening to destroy the house. Why aren't y'all calling her out for her crazy behavior? I mean, I don't like Salah. Let that be known. He's a scumbag too, and he invited all of her crazy into his life, and he kept it there for a long time because he was greedy, and that's on him. But what about the way she was behaving?
I feel like he was just really,
I mean, it takes two to tango, right? It's not just one person, it's two people.
not in his right mind. He's just really stressed out. And anyway, that's, so yeah, I don't have anyone. But um he promised no harm will come to me or Julia, of course. And he was just angry, but um yeah. I'm so impulsive. It's so ruining my life.
So what are you going to do about it? I'm so impulsive. It's ruining my life. What are you going to do about it when you get back to Canada? How are you going to fix this problem with being impulsive? How are you going to fix the daddy issues, the abandonment issues that have, in order to not get triggered, you have to basically change someone next to your side? How are you going to fix the issue of being way, way too codependent to the point where it makes you clingy and jealous and insecure and driving the other person that's in your life nuts to the point where they have to run away from you? You got a lot of issues. How do you plan to fix all this? It sounds like a lot of work.
it really is. Yeah, I realize I have to get out of here because I don't need to be in that kind of danger where I can't even I have to worry about these things, you know? Yeah, I don't think he would hurt me. But I don't think, I think we're just very toxic for each other and we need to be apart. Yeah, essay. I see it now. I see that it's anything can happen, you know? But, you know, I felt safe with Salah. Chris, my grits, welcome to Very Important Beers, ready to bees. Have I eaten? No, I can't eat. Like, when I'm this upset, I don't want to eat, honestly.
She had no problem eating the next day right before he got home. All this talk about, I've only got 3 eggs, and yet she sat there and ate a whole platter of food. So she was fine. She had plenty of food.
I learned a lot. Yeah, I was scared, Rosie.
Everybody in the chat scared for her. Have you eaten? Trust me, she'll be fine. She can stand to go a few hours without food. She'll be all right.
Really, teardrop? Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Like, you know, I just. Hey, sorry, not sorry. I know there's a lot of people who like make jokes about it and everything, but there's a lot of people who do care, and you know, I just like emotionally, I just what was that? Oh, I couldn't take it, you know, like it's really hard, you know, like coming to terms with the fact that your like marriage is ending. I know a lot of people thought it was just a fake marriage, but like
It is. It is a fake marriage. It's a YouTube marriage. It's a script marriage. Script marriages and YouTube marriages don't count because they are not real. Real marriages involve people that actually care about each other and are connected to one another, and they are each other's best friend. And in the entire 3 years that I've been watching this whole thing go down, Chantal, I'm sorry. I have not seen nor felt or seen any evidence of couple energy. When two people are involved with each other, even as best friends, you can just tell. You can feel that energy between them. I have not seen it with the two of you. You even after 3 years, the two of you still act like perfect strangers. He wants nothing to do with you. He's not attracted to you. You don't turn him on. He's not fond of you at all. It's a contract marriage, and the marriage is over. The contract is over now. Time to go home.
we were together 3 years and we had a lot emotionally invested, and um we're supposed to be soulmates and everything, and it was very it's just like, you know,
Okay, education time, Chantal. You need an education on soulmates. You know, you need to understand the whole concept of soulmates. It's a lot broader than you think. When people think of soulmates, they often think of the romantic, being in love soulmates that you live with. But believe it or not, there are all kinds of soulmates for all kinds of purposes. Did y'all know that? It's true. Let me bring out one example of two people who are not romantic soulmates, but I feel they were soulmates just because they came together, and them coming together produced something great. And that was the purpose of them coming together. Jimmy Page and Robert Plant. They were not a romantic couple, but they were involved together in the band Led Zeppelin, right? And then Led Zeppelin went on to make wonderful music that even to this day we're still enjoying, like all the hits, like Stairway to Heaven. That could be an example of soulmates, people who are coming together to make music and songwrite together, and they produce something that the world enjoys. That could be an example of a soulmate, or two people who come together and they not just talk, but they form a company that goes on to be successful. It's all about pairings of people that it's meant to happen for a reason. So soulmates don't have to be intimate or sexual or involve romantic love. I think, Chantal, that you don't understand the concept of soulmates. Some people come into your life not to be your soulmate, not to be your true boyfriend or husband or wife or girlfriend. What they are there for is to be a life lesson. And you are supposed to learn the lesson. And once you learn it, you move on. You're a better person. You're wiser. You're smarter. And you make better choices later. You were with Natter. You screwed up. You made bad choices. You did not learn. So you went to summer school with Salah. Almost the same scenario, just different person. Spirit said, "Oh, you didn't learn the first time? Well, I guess you got to go back to school on this one. Let's just recreate some of the stuff and let's see if you get it this time around." You didn't. You absolutely didn't. But it tried. It tried to teach you.
My heart was kind of broken, and it hurts, but at the same time, I know it's necessary. Like we can't be together. It is hard. No.
You know what, Chantal? Let me help you out a little bit. I don't like you. You're a piece of crap. But I'm older than you. I'm about 13 years older than you. This is something that I had to learn. It was a hard lesson, but I had to learn it. I took my bumps. If something is meant to be, if it's meant to be in your life, it won't be that hard. If someone is meant to be in your life, you won't have to pay them lots of money. You won't have to beg. You won't have to run after them. It'll be a situation of you'll walk towards them, they walk towards you. It won't be a fight. I'm just saying. If you have to fight that hard to keep somebody in your life, that's a sign they weren't supposed to be there, that they're not meant for you.
Oh. Yeah. So, I'm gonna have to leave. I'm gonna keep my ticket and leave in October because A, he did promise me no harm. 2, or B, alphanumerical. I just can't afford it. I just can't.
She's a liar. She can't afford it. She's just trying to stay in Syria a little bit longer to avoid paying, I don't know, rent or expenses. She's just sticking her feet in the mud just to prolong the period when she's in Syria and she's not paying rent and she's not paying expensive bills. Do you know why there's another reason why Chantal does not want to go back to Canada? Because as long as she is in the Middle East, she's avoiding adulthood. Canada represents adulthood, her having to go back to be an adult. While she's been in the Middle East with Salah, traveling with him, living with him, he's taken on more the parental role. She doesn't have to think about anything. She even said that herself. He handles all the responsibilities. All that she's got to do is eat and go on camera and make money and hand it over to him, and he handles the rest. But she knows that her time of her little vacation from adulthood is just about over. And she's going to have to go home and take care of her doggone self. I'm actually going to be looking forward to her being in Canada because something about Chantal being in the Middle East around Salah, it's been weird. It's like she's reverting back to childhood in a way. There's the baby talk and acting like a baby and the whining. It's so weird. This was not her with BB or Natter or even with Pete. It just showed up while she was with Salah. It's like she reverted back to childhood in her brain, and she needs to bring back the adult part of her brain.
I had all this budgeted out. I was supposed to stay longer, even longer than that.
So if you had it all budgeted out, why are you broke? What happened? Where'd that money go? You've been with Salah in Syria for how long? And you've not paid rent? So you've not paid rent. Where did your money go, girl? You weren't paying rent.
Teardrop. I have some debt payments going through, and all the super chats I made and everything will only be on the next paycheck. So I have a lot to pay. Like when I get to Canada, I need to pay first month's rent.
I'm going to point this out really quick. Beezers. I'm just pointing this out for your education and your information. Because Mama Rose has dealt with some scammers, all right? I'll put up my hand and say I've been scammed. I'll be honest. I'll keep it 100. But you know what? I learned. The difference between me and Chantal is that I learned. I learned about the scammers. I learned to spot the scammers. I learned to spot the scams. I learned because I didn't want to get scammed anymore. I didn't want anyone to get one over on me. So, what she's doing right now, this very minute, there's a reason why she's mentioning all this. Is she oversharing? Yes. But there is purpose to the oversharing. She's putting all of her financial woes out there, talking about, I got to pay this and I got to pay that. She's purposely mentioning that to her audience because she wants people to pay her more money. That's what scammers do. They put all their woes out there in front of the public, hoping there's some sucker or suckers in the audience that will feel sorry for them and give them more money. Oh, I'm going to go back to Canada and I got to make payments and blah, blah, blah. Why does anybody need to know? No one needs to know that stuff. That's personal. I'm sure there are people in our own audience that have money issues, that the money's tight. You know, you're working hard. You're doing all you can. You're doing the budget shopping, but you keep your stuff to yourself. You don't put it out there on Front Street, but she is. Why? Because this is the subtle scam. This is the I'm mentioning my money issues because I want you guys to take care of it for me. That's why.
Rent. I mean, a last month's rent deposit whenever I find a place.
Like she's just not mentioning one thing. She's mentioning many things. So she's giving the impression, I need lots of money. I got this and this and this and this. And basically what she's saying without saying is, I got all these issues. Hey, Beezers, reach in your pocket and give me more money. Even though you just gave me like, what, $800, $900 on PayPal? And you gave me a bunch of super chats and you watch my live streams and my videos and you give me the super thanks and you buy the memberships, even though you're giving me all this money and put money in pocket, that's not enough. Look at all these things I gotta pay for. Beezers, you've been paying for all her expenses for the last 8 years. Understand that. Think about that. Every bit of food she's put in her mouth, every bit of furniture she's ever bought, every bit of rent she's ever paid, every trip she's ever taken, every man she's ever had in her life, you funded that too. Everything down to the last detail. She's never gone out and worked a regular job. All the money's come from YouTube, from the people. You know, the same people that she doesn't appreciate and she can't be bothered to sit down and do a video thanks for or do a giveaway for. Yeah, y'all. I'm talking about y'all. You've been funding her life for the last 8, 9 years. And she has the audacity to ask for more money. She's lived large on your dime, Beezers. There was a time she was making $20,000, $30,000 paychecks. If Chantal had played her cards right, she'd be fine right about now. But she's been entitled for years, thinking that the YouTube money train was going to keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going, and the money was never going to drop. And that's her fault, not y'all's. But she expects you to pay for and compensate her for her stupidity and not being wise and prudent with her money. But all this mentioning about, I got this issue and I got that issue, notice what she's not saying. She's not saying, I got these issues and I got them handled. I'll figure it out. I'll work hard and I will figure it out. She will never say that. She'll always put it out there like, I'm mentioning this stuff because I expect you guys to handle it for me. Stop handling her stuff. Stop coddling her. Stop rescuing her. She's 41 years old. This is not a fairy tale. And if it were, then the princess needs to learn to save herself, not stay tied to the railroad tracks, waiting for a knight in shining armor to come untie her. Believe it or not, Beezers, by you enabling her, you're doing more damage to her than you know. Sometimes caring too much does damage. Let her figure it out. She's an adult. She's 41. If she ain't got it now, she ain't gonna get it.
And then, like, that's what I have the money for now. And then I bought my flight. And then I have to,
Nope. Wrong. You didn't buy your flight. The Beezers bought your plane ticket. The Beezers did not too. You took their money and you bought the ticket. Say it the right way.
I like to be in a new place for November 1st. I have to pay
Well, you can't always get what you want. I want to be in the new place by November. Good luck with that.
first month's rent. I have to pay transportation from the airport I don't want to rely on anybody for anything. I don't want to rely.
But you are relying on people for everything. You actually have gone to your Beezers and said, I need this, I need that, I need first and last months, I need, but you're not saying what you're going to do. What are you going to do? What work are you going to do? How are you going to make money? Haven't heard that yet. Probably not going to hear that yet. What are you going to do? What are you contributing to this? You're expecting your Beezers to give money, but you're not even going halfway. You're not saying, if you guys put in this much and I'll put in this much and this is what I'm going to do. No talk of that.
Even on my family to get me from the airport home. By the way, can you guys...
it's very telling when she's got family members in Canada and they're not even helping her. There's a reason why they're not helping her. There's a reason why they're not letting her stay there when they let her stay there before. Beezers asked the question, why? What did she do to make her family say no more? What did she do? What horrible thing happened that would cause your own family to say, nope, done? Must have been pretty bad.
You guys hear me okay? A van life, Rosie. And I don't want to. And then I also have to get like a bed.
Shut up. Shut up. I have to get a bed. Then get a bed with your own money.
Which I did budget for. I budgeted everything. I have to get comforter, pillows.
No, she's naming everything she needs, but she's not saying, I'll pay for it. I've got this much money. This is the silent scam, Beezers. Pick up the phone. Reality is calling. It needs you to answer. She's mentioning all these things she needs for a reason to your ears.
That's basically all that I'm really going to get for now. I need to rent a car because I have to like move and like, just rent a car initially, maybe for like a week. I'm new, but you had us all worried, I think. Thank you. Sorry, not sorry. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to worry you guys. I really didn't.
And I'm gonna say it one more time, just in case any Beezers are wandering over here and watching this video. Listen to me. Listen. If she wants to go home, there are extended stays in Canada. Plenty of them. And they're not that expensive. And there's nothing wrong with staying in an extended stay. Some of them are pretty nice. You get the room fully furnished, No first and last months required. No security deposit, no pet deposit. She's not going to go with a pet anyway, so she doesn't have to worry about that. You get a bed, maybe 2 beds. All the privacy she could ask for in her own private room. Some of the extended stays have continental breakfast, a place to do laundry. She can have food delivered. What more does she need? Honestly, she streams off her phone. So it is doable to go home to Canada and stay at an extended stay. And she knows it. She just doesn't want to do it. Or maybe she will end up doing it. But in the meantime, she's going to grift all kinds of money to make it seem like, yeah, I've got a plan and I'm going to move into an apartment. But anybody who's ever moved knows that it takes a while to find an apartment. So does that even make sense? When apartment complexes, they're like the IRS, man, the FBI. They check you out for everything. Background check for bankruptcies. They check your bank records. Do you have a criminal record? All this stuff. And it takes a while to go through all that. And she thinks she's going to find an apartment in 2 or 3 weeks? I don't think so.
I'm more calm now, but things are just not good, and yeah, study the custom, decompress, yeah. And
this person in the chat's making me laugh. Rosie Leon says you should do van life around Canada and document that journey. Rosie, you're a new time viewer, aren't you? I think you're new. You have to be new, because if you knew Chantal, you would know that suggestion is not going to fly. Doing the van life thing, and I've seen van life videos on YouTube, that would require being self-sufficient. That would require being independent. That would require setting up a van or vehicle to where it's functional. You have to be mindful of everything you put in it, because you only got so much space. You have to know how to fix your vehicle or fix anything that is broken. Just set everything up to where you can actually live out of the van. Chantal would never. She's not an independent person. She's codependent. Would not work.
I've just been alone for in the same, I haven't left the house since he's been gone Saturday. You really are hurting him by going live on impulse and putting your text as thumbnail. He's also stressed, having to drive back. I know, Debbie, yeah. No, Mayo, welcome to very important Beezers. Is that what? No, Mayo. Hello. Welcome, ready, set, bees. I thought that was Yo Mama for some reason. Yeah.
Everybody in the chat is talking about her stress. What about the stress of Salah driving 15 hours? I mean, a journey that long, by the time you get home, all you want to do is crash for 2 days.
Carolina, really?
And then you got to walk.
I don't know.
Then you got to walk in the door and deal with her. As if that's not enough, you got to deal with her.
Had me worried for a bit. I feel paranoid or something.
I feel that him going on vacation with the family, that triggered her abandonment issues. And her abandonment issues might be connected to her issues revolving around control. In order to feel comfortable, in order to feel safe, she has to maintain control. And the fact that he was so far away, I'm sure that triggered her abandonment issues.
Hey, No Name, how are you?
And that's on her for her to fix.
You? No. We both don't want to pursue anything else.
Okay, I have a question. If she could not open the gate How in the world were people ringing the doorbell? Was the doorbell connected to the gate? I don't know where the doorbell is.
I think it's just been. Yeah, I saw the yo and I was like, is that yo? We've just been. Me neither. That's why those words were shocking, Carolina. But I think he was like also paranoid that like I was gonna really like just go online and talk about him, and he blamed.
Well, that's what you do. You get mad at somebody. You use your YouTube channel and your YouTube audience as your own personal private army for revenge and for wrath. I mean, you've been doing this for years. He's not the first person you've done this to. I mean, you've done it to Pete, you've done it to Natter, you kind of did it to BB, even guys that we really didn't even see on YouTube, like any guy you went on a date with that rejected you or you did not like, you talk trash about.
Blames me for ruining his life with like talking about him and stuff, and I'm like, I didn't even like talk that bad. I just you know there's not really any really bad things to reveal.
Not at this time. And she's only saying that because she's still there, but will she keep that same energy when she goes back to Canada? And he's not there to stop her from talking. But Chantal, let me tell you, just so you know, you got stuff on him. He's got stuff on you too, though. You both have stuff on each other. You open your mouth about him, he won't even think twice about coming to YouTube and doing a tell-all.
So for the both of us, it really was just a pretty, other than one incident, it was pretty normal. I mean, most of the time. No, it's not just that it's not salvageable. It's done. Yeah. So I agreed. He said no harm will come to me. We'll try to be civil just until I can go. I don't know. We were fighting like all day.
I doubt that. That doesn't even make sense. We were fighting all day. How is that possible if he was driving for hours and hours and hours to spend time with his family? Hours out of his way because of you. How is that possible if he was around family, they're at the beach or wherever they were having a good time, he's focused on the family. You wanted to fight with him all day and you wanted to get in the middle of that vacation and essentially ruin it. You were out to ruin the family time.
About the breakup and everything, and why things have just been so volatile. And I don't know, like just mentally we're both messed up. Like it's mentally messing him up to be with like someone like me, and it's mentally messing me up being here with someone like him. And it's just like we're not compatible. And thank you, no name. Yeah, it felt like it came out of nowhere because I don't really discuss everything that goes on with us.
Not yet. Just wait.
Hey, Missy Men. So of course it's gonna feel that way for you guys, and I honestly want to just keep it that way. Leave some dignity to our, not. I don't want people to talk about him bad in the chat. I just want it to go on. So I was married 11 years and he cheated during my chemo. Sometimes stuff happens behind closed doors. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry. Yeah, teardrop. It's sad, because I don't know. Maybe I had like an overly romanticized idea of everything, but
You did. Just like you did with Natter. Same situation, different person. You met up with Natter. And even though I wasn't in the room, I'm going to take a guess based on who you are and your pattern of behavior. you wanted to put him on the hook. So you immediately talked about your YouTube channel, how many people watched you, how much money you made. You threw the YouTube stuff on the table. I'm sure you smelled out that he was greedy. He liked money. So you threw the money on the table. And because of that, he started hanging out with you and dealing party favors to you, which you bought, lots of them. He made a lot of money off you during that, as well as getting his bills paid and the rent and the phone and the iPad and all that stuff. So you use the money as a big hook. And maybe you and Natter had the same kind of agreement. Like, I am not in a relationship with you, but if you want some YouTube drama and if you make lots of money and I get a cut of that, let's work together. So you did. And hence, Crack It Olympics came to be. But in none of it was the possibility that Natter was going to fall in love with you. Love was not part of the contract. But you tried. You thought somewhere in all of this, he's going to see that I'm a great person and he's going to fall in love. And that's the way it's going to be. You fooled yourself into thinking that was going to happen, and it never did. And here we are with Salah. You thought if you made another contract with another person, that love would somehow just magically show up, and it never did. Never did ever did it. Never, ever, ever was it going to happen. Nope. Let's see if you learn this time.
He's just like a normal person, and I'm not. Like,
Oh.
mentally, what I want in life, I'm so weird. Thanks, Kimby. Yeah, Carolina, right? Like, it's everything is just taking a turn for the worse. Like, we used to be so like loving and like, yeah.
Chantal, I think the moments that I've seen that you and Salah got along the best is when you were both high. And isn't that something that it's almost a sense of deja vu, because that's almost the exact same situation when you were with Natter. The two of you got along the best when you were both high around each other. When you were both high, you got along. But the next morning was ugly. I still remember the live stream that happened when you stayed over at Natter's place. And it was the next morning, you were streaming, and Natter came into the room and said, "Why are you still here?" Oh, that was painful. You were mortified. But it spoke volumes about your dynamic. As long as you bring somebody money, as long as you're paying the bills and the groceries and providing the party favors and you're both high as kites, you might get along. But the moment that none of that is thrown on the table, you're going to fight.
Yeah. Frilly, I think it was just like, he's never done anything ever to hurt me, or, you know.
Mark that down. Somebody clip that. Clip that. She's saying it now. He's never done anything to hurt me. Clip that. Because when she gets back to Canada, she's going to talk and she's going to say, he was so mean to me. You guys don't know.
He did promise no harm will come to me. I'm okay to stay. I get to spend more time with Juice. But if things do go south, I'll really try to go. But I really just can't. Like, I'm just kind of stuck. No, I didn't talk on the phone. It was just texting. Thanks, Essa.
Somebody somewhere needs to release those text messages. We need to see all of them. I guarantee you she was acting unhinged. She started it. And there might have been the plan of like poking at him to not only ruin the vacation, but get him so explosively mad that he said something that he shouldn't have said. And then she could come to the internet and play victim.
Thank you, Sneakerhead Queen. Yeah, more calm. I'm just going to try to watch my mouth. And
good luck.
What is he like being? Well, he loves his family, you know. They're very family-oriented culture, but I don't like family all in business, and
So funny. So funny that she says that. I don't like the family all in the business. And yet, what does she do? She puts her business out in front of thousands of people. Hypocrite, Chantal. So you don't want his family, who he's related to, all in the business, and yet you put the business out there in front of strangers you're not even related to.
I get overwhelmed being with too many people, and like Sasa and all, like, there's some family members I really, really have no problem with. It's just
What?
I'm very in my head, Wolf Pup. I don't know what to do about it. And the flame always fizzles out. No name, you hang in there. Thank you, no name.
Chantal is easily intimidated. Not because somebody is perhaps threatening physical violence. She's just easily intimidated. She's insecure. She's jealous. If she sees a woman who looks even slightly better than her, she feels insecure. She is insecure when it comes to family members or family because she knows they have the strongest influence. They will always have the strongest voice in the situation. That if she's involved with a guy and the person has family, they have more power than she does. So don't let her fool you, Beezer. She may come off like I'm a strong person and I know what to do. She's the complete opposite. What you see on YouTube is not who she actually is. She's a very, very insecure person who's also quite unstable.
I really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm trying. I'm trying. My flight is at the end of October. I don't want to say the exact day, but I know it was sad, Teardrop, because there was so much love there.
No, it wasn't. No, there wasn't. What do you mean? Oh,
It is very gut wrenching. Thank you, Carolina. I don't want to cry anymore, but oh.
I really, really want Salah to come online when she's back in Canada. And even just do a short video saying to people, look, this is what happened. Her and I formed a contract. I was just there to be her YouTube husband. It was nothing more than that. I never touched her. I was never in love with her. It was just an agreement. She wanted to come over here and spend some time. And I was just kind of her tour guide of sorts. And I played a part on YouTube, and that's all it ever was. I hope he does it.
That's just awful.
Like, it was 3 years of Chantal essentially playing house. And those of us that were children, we remember playing house, don't we? You be the mommy and I be the daddy. Playing house. She played house for 3 years because, in my opinion, she wanted to know what it was like to be married. She wanted to be able to say, I'm a married woman. I have a husband. She wanted the experience without having the actual marriage. And that's what this whole thing was about. This was her getting back at Nader for rejecting her. Essentially, Salah was a paid rebound that went on for a long time.
You came from a wake, Missy Med. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh no. My condolences. Family member or Hey Lilith. Thank you. Your stepmom. Oh no. Anyway. It was buffering? Damn it. Okay. I feel like even if they don't like you, I wish so much ill towards you. I know. People are just sick. Carolina! Member for 23 months. Ready, set, rebees, Carolina. Thank you. Appreciate it. 3 people in 4 months. What? What happened? on my channel, even if they're in the internet, whatever. So that's my plan, I guess. I guess I'll see how things go. I just don't really have much of a choice.
Yes, you do. You can go home now. And it would actually make sense for you to go home now because then you can just get started with making the money early.
When I get in Canada, I'm gonna um I don't know actually. The first thing I'll do.
Go straight to a Burger King and get an ashy, get 5 of them. I mean, you're all over Instagram, you're all over Twitter bugging Burger King like, when are you releasing the Nashi? It's crazy. You're going straight to a Burger King if you don't find one in the airport. I'm calling it, y'all. I'm clocking it. If she gets off that plane, the party's going to get started in the airport because what is in the airport? Fast food joints. There's your Starbucks. There's your McDonald's. There's your Burger King. She's going to sit right down and have herself a little feast. It's going to last for a while before she even goes anywhere.
But yeah, I have to stay until my flight, you know. I really can't just go, unfortunately.
Chantal, if you're waiting around because you think the Bezos will give you more money, they won't. You're just wasting time. If you think that you can come to the internet with your puppy dog eyes and your lip poked out and they'll give you more money, they don't have it to give. Let me give you a dose of reality. Look at the calendar, lady. Look at it. Look at the date. Today is the 24th. That means there's 6 days left before the end of the month. Now, I know you don't care, but that means 6 more days before the rent is due. Do you honestly think that people have more money to give you if they got to be concerned for rent? No, they don't. So if you're holding on for the hope of more money, forget it. It ain't happening. We're at the last week of the month. It's time to get real. Go home.
I think it was the pause situation, and I was like, why are you all picking on these people for trying to help? Yeah, they're literally insane, can be. Literally insane. They take everything, whether anything I do, even if it's good intentions or whatever, and
When have you ever done something with good intentions? Please name an example. Chantal, I'm a fair person. If you do good, I will say that you do good. I will praise you for that good, even if you're an awful, rotten beast, which you are. I'll give you credit. If you honestly do a good deed or a good thing for yourself, I will say, well done, Chantal. I'll praise the good if it's there, but I haven't seen it yet. Honestly, no hate. I haven't seen it. You don't do truly good things. You do manipulative things that are disguised as good things. If you give money to somebody, you want something back. You use that gift of money or food or paying bills or rent as leverage to get one over on somebody. That's not truly good. Not at all.
they just make it into something awful.
You're an awful person.
Do a tour. Lilith, member for 7 months. I love HD, but don't listen to what she says. Thank you, Lilith, for rebeezing. Who's HD? Yeah. Yeah, for sure, teardrop. Um, I'm not really sure Chris my grits yet. I feel so worn out. Like, how am I even still awake?
Oh God, here's Teardrop. Teardrop says, I'm sure the reaction channels are having a heyday payday over this. Not quite yet, Teardrop. Not quite yet. I mean, this is something interesting to be sure. Chantal decided to take the live streams off her channel and she could have made money with them. But the moment she was done with them, she removed them. So no views and no money for her. So yeah, it is free real estate for us by her own hand. But it's not exactly a huge payday. No.
My eyeballs, there's so much pressure in my eyeballs right now. Oh, Hillary Duff. Hillary Duff. Hey, Scrape. But don't listen to... Oh, I never do. I haven't listened to her in like a long time, Lilith. The minute she started talking shit on me, I just unsubscribed and I haven't been back to her channel. So I don't need to listen to that shit.
Oh, she was talking crap on you? Interesting.
Watch your blood pressure. It's probably up, that's for sure. So but yeah, I don't... The minute someone starts talking shit on me, unsubscribe. By... I haven't been back to her channel, Lilith, so don't worry about it. I honestly, like, when she first started talking crap about me, I just unsubscribed and left.
What happened there? Akate's daughter was a big supporter of Chantal. So what happened that would cause someone who was a big supporter to go from talking crap? I'm curious.
You know, I haven't been back since. So I guess she's reeing into the universe because I don't hear a word she says. Sleep disorder. Yeah, like 1 minute people like you, the next they turn so fast, and I just hate people like that.
Chantal, maybe it's about people who like you for a minute because they don't know you yet. And then later on, they figure you out. And then they figure out, I really don't like this person. They go away. It happens.
And then like people try to come crawling back, like stay away. It causes her to talk for literal days on end without eating. Yeah, I don't know how that goes. Like just talking shit on people for days, like watching old rerun videos talking shit on people. Like it's so negative and dull. The couples channel, I'll have to figure out what to do with it. It's true, scrape coat. Live and let bees. Yep. Yep. Live and let bees. 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 If I'm gonna go back home, I don't want to be in a I think it's better we just leave each other, which might have been really hurtful for him, but maybe not.
So why not use the word divorce? We're divorcing each other. Why is there the talk of separation? Separation means there's a chance you'll go back. But I'm telling you, Chantal, if all this is you going back to Canada to fight with Salah, to cause drama, to make money, and then you go back to Syria, that will completely tank your channel. Like all of your beezers, especially the ones that gave you money to go home and get set up, they're going to be so angry, they won't watch you anymore. And those are the people that you depend on. Like you really don't care about all the beezers. You put priority on the ones who give you money. But yet it'll be the ones that give you money that you're going to screw over the hardest and that are going to be the most angry. You're going to cause a mass exodus of your channel. And the reaction channels are going to grow by leaps and bounds. So thanks in advance.
Monica, member for 33 months, loyalty Beezer. I honestly just want to see you safely in Canada now. Thank you, Monica. Thank you for rebeezing. I appreciate you. That's a long time, guys. We got history, yes, all going way back. I hope so. Sorry, not sorry. I hope so. I really do. 3 years, yeah. Yeah. I just need to be single forever because I'm not mentally well and I don't deal with relationships too well. I don't deal with things too well in general, but
And you know what, Chantal, if you want to be in a relationship and have the relationship be successful, you got to do the one thing that you've never done. You got to work on yourself. Otherwise, any relationship you try, it's not going to stand a chance. You got to do the work. You've got a lot of issues. You've got addictions and you just don't want to deal with them. If you want love so bad, but yet I guess not bad enough to fix what's wrong with you so people can deal with you properly.
really, Chris?
Like you're entirely
Yeah, I have a
too
lot of
much.
history going on. But yeah, we've been married for 3 years.
YouTube marriages don't count. It's just on paper. It's a script.
What life will be like yeah, I have to remember, like, I cannot live life here. I can't. And he don't want to live anywhere else. And we're just not compatible. Carrie Domiton, welcome to Very Important Bees. You're ready to set bees. Therapy. Yeah, I need a lot of. Oh, that was super whiny. Lurkers got them all. Any known haters? Yeah, thanks, no name. 5, thank you. Oh, really, Scrape? Oh, yeah, that's weird, eh? I don't know why they limit them to 3 a day. 3 banners a day.
Are you talking about YouTube notifications? Yeah, that's a thing, y'all. Just a heads up so you guys will know if someone is doing a YouTube channel, YouTube does have a limit with how many times a day they will promote you. So the limit is 3. If you do like 3 live streams or 3 videos, they'll promote those 3. If you do anything after those 3, they may not promote them. The people that watch your stuff may not get notifications. But for those who are on Twitter, whenever I do a video or a live, I post about it on Twitter. So if you want to know to catch all my stuff, you can subscribe to me on Twitter and then you'll know.
I have the crier headache. Yeah, it's the worst. My eyeballs are sore. Oh, Maxine, welcome to Very Important Bees. There's Maxine, ready, set, bees.
Say something, Chantal.
Never said things like that. And I think it was just like, yeah, I know, Wolf Pup. See, you must have been blocking a lot, Teardrop. Actually, I feel really, really. I feel really hurt, like in my heart, for saying some really nasty things.
You know, another thing that's been bothering Foodie and has been making her angry is that she's talking about going back to Canada and she's looking for some sort of emotional response or validation from Salah that he cares about her and he's going to be sad that she's going to be leaving and he's not sad, and that is absolutely ticking her off because she just wants to feel like, oh, he really cared about me, he really did care, he really did love me, and in a small way she got what she wanted. That even though she paid him money every month, he there was some love in there somewhere and he doesn't love her. She wants him to be sad. She wants him to be as sad as she's feeling over the idea of leaving him, and he's not sad at all. He's actually quite happy.
To him. And I think that also set him off. I just felt really hurt. I felt really hurt because I was imagining, maybe it's just like in my head, imagining him like listening to people from his family bad mouthing me, and
You were projecting. You were seriously projecting in that moment. You just said you were imagining his family talking about you. This is not a situation where you saw it happen, you know for sure that it happened. So it was a definite thing. No, you imagined it happening. And you know why you imagined that happening? Because you know how awful you've been. The things that you've said, the things that you've done, the fact that you're over there and you've not been helpful. You have been rebellious to his family and isolating him and isolating yourself when you know you should have done better. So you know you're not projecting the best picture to the people that matter the most to him, and the people that matter the most to him that are close, they're going to give their opinion. They're going to talk, they're going to say things out of concern and love, and you can't stop it. You can't slow it down. You can't keep it from coming in. So you were imagining these things because you know what an awful person you are. And still, that's not making you pause and think, this is really bad. I care about this person and I have been the worst. And his family doesn't like me. What can I do to fix that? I need to do better. I need to be a better person to where I don't have these worries and insecurities. Nope, you want to be who you are. So you get what you get.
like brainwashing him. And
Family members giving an opinion to a situation or a relative in distress is not brainwashing. Any person in this world, relative or not, if they see someone that they care about and the person is in distress, they're going to talk to them and they're going to maybe talk some sense into them. It's a thing. Like it's normal for one person to walk up to another person and see the worry in their face, see them stressed out, see them drained, see them tired, see that something is wrong. And you're going to say, what is wrong? Is everything all right? Are you okay? And then the person opens up to you, you are going to give your opinion. If you had a real life friend, Chantal, you would know these things go on, and it's not brainwashing.
we both hurt each other. We both hurt each other. Yeah. Hurt Venom sucks. Way behind in the chat. Oh, were you noting?
Chris My Grit says, you both wouldn't have been so angry at each other if you both didn't care so deeply for each other. Wrong. In some situations, you might be right, but in this one, you're wrong. He was off with the family, doing his thing, very happy to leave Chantal alone and not bother her. But she was determined to bother him, and she went out of her way to do so, and she showed her entire butt to the family. Both cheeks, full moon, butt out to the sky. Okay? She wanted to get all in the way of the fun. She wanted to ruin the occasion. Maybe he would come home early. That was the goal. All that happened was he came home mad. And that's really stupid on her because she's got to stay there. So imagine the uncomfortable energy that's going to be happening with him talking to his family from here on out. The family coming over from here on out. It's going to be bad.
I said I was like, we were just both very like, yeah, just awful. I don't ever want to be like that. Especially to somebody that you love, you know? Natty, welcome to Very Important Business, Natty. Ready, set, beast. Thank you. Yeah, Missy. Words hurt. They do. Yeah, that's why I don't want to like do that. I don't want to like blast him and expose things.
Not until you get back to Canada.
You calling him an SOB really did it. Yeah, but he took the word literally, and like we never like we don't use it to like insult the.
Chantal, you are so ignorant. When you go to another country with different people, different cultures, different manners, you should learn about where you're going, the attitude, the culture, the people, the manners, what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. Because there are just some things over here, in the States that would be acceptable and normal, but in other places, not. When you called him an SOB, like you weren't just insulting him, you were insulting his family. You were insulting his mother. And his mother has passed away, which makes it 1,000 times worse. Like you don't know the gravity of what you said.
Like an actual mother. I guess like the term really literally just means that, but like I never think of it that way.
Well, maybe you should think. Maybe instead of speaking, you should think before you speak.
So I think that's why it hurt him, and yeah, it was really mean. And I felt bad for it. I really felt bad. But I didn't think anything. I would never say that about his mom.
But you did. You kind of insulted both at the same time. You insulted him and you insulted his deceased mother.
Hurt and anger are similar emotions. Anger masks hurt. I'm hurt, but I was just very, very hurt by some things. I'm no trophy wife. Yeah, but I mean, I was through the whole 3 years, I was so good to him. I was very.
No, you weren't. We saw you back in Kuwait, the way you talked to him. Like you would get your food, and if he didn't want the food, you'd be like, Sarven. Nice way to treat your husband. You're having him go out and run out at 2:00 in the morning for freaking ice cream and waking him up to get ice cream for you. Yeah, that's real good treatment too.
Very loving. I did a lot for him. I really catered to him.
You know what? Let's fix things a bit. You over there saying, I did a lot for him. Let's correct you on that point. It was not you that did a lot for him. It was the Beezers that did a lot for him because they were paying for everything. You didn't pay for it. They did. They gave you the money. You got the money. You transferred over to him. But it was the Beezers that did a lot for him, not you.
Massage him all the time, like every day.
No, you didn't.
like just really treat him very well and
As if he'd want your hands on his body.
loving. So I'm not like a size whatever you think like a trophy wife should be. I'm not a Barbie, but I still have really good qualities.
Like what? I need to hear this. Like, what do you do? You are lazy, slobby, dirty, messy. You don't take care of your body. You don't take showers. You go for days on end without bathing yourself, without brushing your teeth. Gross, Chantal, gross. Uh, any room that you stay in for more than a day is destroyed. You don't do housework. You don't do laundry. You don't spend time around the family. You're not helpful. So what exactly do you do? What do you bring to the table besides money?
I'm not going to totally shit on myself. Here's someone's trophy. Yeah.
The only kinds of people that would look at her as a trophy are the ones who have the food fetish. A nasty, disgusting feedie would look at her as a trophy.
What does he think an MFer is? Yeah, and he's used that term too. So I don't know. I had to explain. I'm like, I didn't mean it that way. Like, it's not what you think it means. So I guess, I don't know. If he thought I would. Oh. Buffering. Oh. Buffering. Yeah. Yeah, you have to, be a certain way as a wife here. And, some.
What she means is if you're a wife in the Middle East, like you're expected to get off your butt and do stuff. And she doesn't want to. She does not want to be an adult, be a productive person. She doesn't want to be productive at all.
Sometimes I'm like that. Sometimes, but mostly no. Sorry, but that's just not me, I guess. Chris, my grits, I agree at Natty. Oh, thank you, Chris. I'm starting to feel like an e-beggar. I don't like to ask for more.
Chantal, earlier in the live stream, you named off all of your expenses and personal issues, and I need comforts for my bed, and I need a bed, blah, blah. You were begging without begging. There's so many ways to do it, and you were doing it earlier. I don't like to beg, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it in 10 different ways in one live stream. I'm going to ask outright and yet not ask outright. See which way works.
No. I don't know. What was I waffling on about? I was saying I don't want to ask for more money.
But you will. And I'm calling it and I'm clocking it now, Beezers, and write this down. If you think that when Chantal gets to Canada that she won't ask for more money, you're wrong. She's an active, raging addict with extreme addictions to food, to party favors. She's always going to come off as the damsel in distress. And she'll have money. She just doesn't want to spend her money. She wants to spend your money, and she's going to go for every dime, dollar, nickel, and penny that you got for as long as you let her. So she's going home to Canada, and she's going to say, well, I need 10 grand to get set up. You give her 10 grand, within a matter of 2 weeks, it's all gone. And not because she spent it on expenses and she just ran out. No, half the money she's asking for, she said outright, it's going to be for beezing. Beezing is misbehaving. Beezing is food. It is party favors. It is getting high. So theoretically, she needs about $5,000 to get herself set up. And the other half is to F off. She'll go through all of that within less than a week to 2 weeks. And then after that, there's going to be another crisis. And then if she gets the money for that, there'll be another crisis. Oh, something came up. And another one, and another one, and another one. You think I'm lying? Write this down and remember, it's going to happen.
I need to go to bed, guys. I want to stay, but I'm so tired. Like, I can't.
Yeah, well, be tired and go away. We're done here. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this react. If so, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.